Hey YouTube, Scott Landis here from Vectorsigma.info. Today I'm going to be building my sealed pool for our Patreon tier, Albatron Patreon tier um, release event that we're holding. There are 28 players I think there are at total. The rules can be found on the Patreon site. All the team members are playing. We're not eligible for the prizes, but we are playing in the event. Also, I wanted to mention that it's the first official event as part of the tournament tier, because we did have our Alpha Trion pre-sale championships using proxies, but we are trying to put an organized play type system together for while everyone is not able to actually go to official events. So this is going to be the kickoff of that. The way it's probably going to work is the top like 4 from each event is going to qualify for a qualification for an invitational type event where there'll be additional prizes available. You can find all the information on Patreon. The one thing I guess I can say is that we are giving away significant prizes for all these events. So definitely check it out. So I have my sealed pool. You can see it on the website. It'll be the link to the Google Doc after this will come out after deck lists had to be submitted. But just to let you know, you can see all the pools on that one site. So I'm going to start with the characters that I usually do in sealed. However, it's a little bit different than Siege Block was. So start with this. So I have 4 heads. I have 2 Flameouts, a Briscoe, and a Moxo, which means somewhere in my pool I have 4 Titan Masters. And there you go. Cup, Beachcomber, Sky Shadow Plane, not the whole pieces, and Quake, as well as Big Old Optimus Prime and Bludgeon. So I usually like to start with the characters and then go into the battle cards to see if there's anything that, like, if there's certain combat tribes that the cards work with, or there are certain things I need to adjust my characters with. But I try to do a first pass of characters first to see if, and then see if there's any battle cards that interact. So let's start with the big man, Optimus Prime, see if we can play him. The problem with him is that I have no 1-star head. So Moxo and Briscoe are the lowest at 2 each. The Flameouts are 3 each. Just put them like this so you can see one side versus the other. So I have 2 of them. Which means he would have to cost 14. So even though I have a 6-drop in Beachcomber, I have no 5-drop. So there's no way I can play 3 wide by playing Optimus Prime, and I don't like to play too tall pretty much ever, but definitely not in Limited. So even though his abilities are very good and he would probably time, I just think there's too much damage that goes around for him to be relevant. Bludgeon only costs 1 star less, even though you don't have the head issue, so technically he costs like 3 stars less. But even if you look at this 11, 17, I would have to have 8, and the only way I could do that is by playing the Sky Shadow Plane and losing a star. I don't think there's any reason not to play one or both of my Titan Masters, so he's definitely out, even though I do really like Bludgeon a lot. As one of the best commons in the set. I just don't think that this pool has enough low-cost characters to include it in. Starting with these characters, I think I should play my Titan Masters because I think it's the theme of the set, and we go from there. I was fortunate that I didn't realize this when I first started building that Quake cost 7, not 8. So if you look at it this way, you have 7, 7, 7, which is 21, and then 2 2-star heads that go on the Titan Master. So I think it works out pretty perfectly. Briscoe goes here onto Quake. Just give him more hit points because I think that you're going to need that in this type of format. And then Moxo just goes on Cup. I don't think it's all that relevant. Just makes another 4 attack or so. My guys have 4 attack. I think Beachcomber is good. Don't get me wrong. I just think that obviously Sky Shadow Plane and these characters are just better. Cup gives you, I really like the scope ability. It gives you one of the only ways of getting rid of utilities in the format. Because even, and spoiler alert, there's no dismantle in this pool. So like, I'm going to really need to lean on his ability sometimes to get rid of opposing upgrades. Flameouts are really good. I just can't afford the stars to put it on one of these characters because I just don't have enough low drops. If I did, I would turn one of these guys into 11, like this turn into 18, and I have 7 left over. So again, we'd be down to like Beachcomber over one of the Titan Masters. I don't think that's worth it. So I'd rather play this than anything else. So let's just keep this off to the side. So let's check out our battle deck. We have, I'll put them in color order with blacks in the middle. We have Master Sword, nice. Double Handout Blaster. I'll put the greens and whites over here. Hold the Line. Sonic Stun Gun, not quite the rare as Master Sword. Speed Trap. We do have 2 stratagems. We have Science Officer, and swap heads. Yeah, keep in mind, we registered all these pools ahead of time. It's not like we broke down and took 6 cards out. I don't know where I put my swap heads. There's also a swap heads in here also, which is not bad. I just don't see myself needing to swap these 2 heads. If I was playing Beachcomber, I still wouldn't play this because there's no star cards, so it really wouldn't matter. Temporal Quagmire, I'm going to put the blanks over here too. Hold down is an orange. 2 Turn the Tides, which unfortunately I only have 1 Autobot. If we get an Autobot head, I would play it. There's a swap heads. Spike Bracelet. 2 Emergency Barricades. I'm actually really liking this format. It pretty much can like stunt an entire extra attack, not the Pierce amounts. Junk Cannon. Escape Capsule. Grab Inhibitor. Double Improvised Shield. Double Decoy Flyers. Fusion Borer. Enhanced Power Cell, both really good cards. Elemental Projector. Paralyze a Box, another really good card. Double Sharpened Talons, another really good card. Electro-Optical Visor, I think I'd use this to get rid of opposing Turn the Tides. Last Stand is a card I'm actually normally not high on, but I do have Quake, so it's basically a +6, and it's actually more than that, so I actually think it's very good in this deck. Concealing Contrast is also very good in this deck. Precision Fire, I'm sorry, these Improvised Shields over here in the pure orange. Blade Fury, I have a bunch of weapons as you can already see, so that's definitely going to make the cut. Same with Sporting Fire. Hand-to-hand combat would just be a blank in this deck, since all my characters are range, but I need the blue to get rid of for cup, and it's +3. I'm going to play Blade Fury at +4. I might as well just play that +3. Kimmy Crash is the best combat in the set. Mission Briefing will probably make the cut, although I don't know how many characters are going to be in Bod or Bonnie mode. It's an upgrade that it's an action that I can get as a green, so I'm always going to have something to do. So let's do a first pass and get rid of all the completely unplayables. And then I can already tell we're probably going to cut that from here. Unlike Siege Block, where you had to kind of like play some Stainer cards, in this format, I believe you actually have to get rid of some good cards. Spike Bracelet, we're only going to play if we play the Hail Blasters, so we'll see. Hold down, not good enough, even because, again, like getting tough is not that big of a deal in this format. Counter Espionage, I don't think makes the cut. I just don't think there's enough secret actions to matter, and I'm not going to know my opponent's hand well enough to really make good use of it. Turn the Tide, I only have 1 Autobot. Like I said, it's basically just it's just a bombing run for cup. So Last Stand I normally wouldn't play, but it's good here with Quake. Electro Optical Advisor may not make the cut because I have so many other armors, but I do need blue. But that might get cut. Handheld Blasters, unfortunately, even though I have a character that's built in tough, I just don't think it's as good in this deck. Because, I mean, even though I do have a lot of blues, I just don't know if it's eventually going to make the cut. Same with Mission Briefing, but I just don't have enough actions. Master Sword's clearly making the cut. Sporting Fire, Blade Fury, Sharpened Talons clearly making the cut. Paralyze a Box clearly making the cut. This is a huge combo here, so like having all these green weapons and then also having a Master Sword is pretty insane. So probably just win through my 2 ridic rare weapons here, assuming I can hit something with Paralyze a Box. But I do need to drag the game out. Temporal Quagmire, no, because I have a guy with Tough and a guy with Bold. I don't think I would ever play that card anyway. Spear Trap, no. Sonic Stun Gun, no. Hold the Line would be decent as like a fetchable, really bad repair card. That's all it's really going to do. I don't think anything else really matters. I think by the time we hit the time where heads even matter, I don't think that it's going to matter. So these are my front cards on the chopping block. Let's see how many we have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So we have to add one of these cards back in instead of cutting one out. So let's see our colors right now. It's basically a blank, green, blanks, white. I think we only have 2 blues at this point. Green, yeah, there's blue, but it doesn't really even count as a blue. We obviously, like most decks, just have a tremendous amount of black, which is where I think you want to be. I really like Decoy Flyers a lot, actually. Where's my oranges? Orange. Actually, Junk Cannon's fine. It could just be a replacement Master Sword anyway. So I think the first card to definitely add back in is the Mission Briefing because, like I said, I need it's a white, it's a green, it's even if it just cycles and draws me one card, I still think it's worth it. Although really, it can only ever draw me. It can only ever draw me 2 cards max because this guy can't flip to a mode. So it's not very good, but I just have so many upgrades. It's like unreal. These don't really count, but if I cut it, I don't really like cutting it, but the problem is like I just don't see myself ever being in having 2 guys in that mode. Like Quake, my first turn is always going to be just flip Quake. 9 times out of 10, it's just going to be flip Quake. But I don't even know if I need to do that. So it's basically just playing it for the white, and then like on offense because I don't have a very defensive deck. So it would be the visor is decent as an armor, but the problem is I already have, not counting it ratio, I already have 2 decoy flares, which is essentially the same thing as that except for a more relevant pip, and that can actually sack convert ability. Emergency barricade. So I already have 4 armors and the Hall Matter projector. So I have 5 armors. They're not all permanent armors, but I have 5 armors. So it's like, am I really going to play them? I just don't know if Mission Briefing actually does it. The handheld blasters, I think you have to play both or none. And I can really only add 1 card in. Yeah, the problem with the Mission Briefing is I just think it's never going to draw me more than 1 card. And at that point, it just cycles. It's just a white that cycles. So I really don't care about it all that much. Keeping it in my deck is fine. I think I'm going to cut the Mission Briefing and play the Electro Goggles just because of Cup's ability. The other option would be to cut the Visor and 1 other card to play the 2 handhelds. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. I have to cut 1 other card and play both handhelds. So I was to cut the Visor. I have to cut another card. I don't think that's worth it because I just don't see anything on here. I don't see anything else on here that's on the chopping block. It would have to be another upgrade. So it would probably have to be like 1 of the decoy flares or 1 of the emergency barricades. And I don't think that's better. I think the way this format's going to break down is that like you're going to have a lot of combat where it's like you're got for 5 and you're defending for whatever your defense is, which is 2 or 3 in this situation. So I'm going to take 3 anyway. If I was to like flip a handheld and have 4 defense, if they flip a couple blacks, it's really only saving me 1 defense. It's really only going to save me like 1 anyway. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I actually think playing as the bold is actually maybe more relevant. Worst card right now is probably it's like Junk Cannon, but I want the orange, so I don't think it's a question. I'd rather be more offensive than defensive. So I think the handheld blasters have to go, and I just play the Electro Visor as a permanent armor. So there's my deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 oranges or orange blacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 blacks or 1 double black for the plane. So that's 16. 3 blues. This is technically a blank in the deck, but blue for Cup's ability. So that's 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. And these are like a bunch of blanks here. But they're greens that I can get back. There aren't a lot of green X's in the deck anyway, like in the format. No matter how you slice it, if they are, they're green blacks like counter espionage, which I have. I just don't think that can make the cut at all. I just don't think I know the deck well enough. So that's it. That's the deck. I think it's pretty good. 3 solid characters. Built-in upgrade removal is good. Quick's ability should be really powerful in the format. The only thing I'm concerned about is it's just not a lot of hit points. I mean, it's only 28 hit points, and I think that's probably easily eclipsed by a lot of other decks that have like common characters and things like that. Oh, I'm sorry, it's actually more than that. It's actually 31 hit points, but I still don't think that's like all that large. I think if you have like the 1 medium-sized character and like 2 smaller characters, I think you can probably easily get to 33 or 34 pretty easily. So we'll see how it goes. I think it's pretty offensive. So I think I can probably set up some decent plays. I only have one Keying Crash and Precision Fire for Cup's ability, but we'll see what happens. I think Escape Capsule is really good in this deck. So yeah, I think it was a good shot. I think it's pretty solid. You'll probably see me on stream playing, and well, we'll see how it goes. Thanks, guys. Thanks for building with me. Talk to you soon.